Season 4, Attack on Titan, first impressions, no manga spoilers. I got into this hyped up to just experience how this episode will go. But I don't want people to hype up this show for the wrong reasons, especially for what it is right now. I don't think you should get easily excited, which I understand if you are. I don't blame you for hyping over a show that deserves its hype. But I want people to get into this show knowing that it's very different from what you've seen so far. I am hyping up for this show with all the precautions and vague hints I have gathered everywhere around the internet. At the same time, I've also been avoiding spoilers, and for me personally, it shows how much I care about a certain show or series when I avoid spoilers because I usually don't care about spoilers. But Attack on Titan is different for me. I care for this show so much that I want to avoid certain plot points, and it's a bloody miracle that I happen to gather all these tips and all these precautions without stumbling into major spoilers. And so, because I care about this show so much, I want to express it to you guys, and out of respect, I will try my best to give you these precautions and this first impression without spoilers. So, first and foremost, if you're getting into this anime fresh out of Season 3 Part 2, you will be very confused, because I know I am. If you're not a manga reader, then we're on the same boat. I was a manga reader until Season 3 picked up. Since then, I have been saving my maiden eyes for the glorious animation I am hoping to bask my meat lenses on. So if you're an anime only, then I am here to tell you that this first episode starts off in a rather fascinating way. If I could describe it, it's like the first 3 seasons were 3 acts of a story that led to a revelation of the Titans. That was the sort of conclusion of that story. This 4th season is still part of the main story, but it's more of a payoff of what the first 3 seasons built up. Thus, it starts off again in its own first act, and I'm guessing that this will have its own build-up as episodes progress. So to explain it a bit simpler, I guess this is pretty much the Clanad after story to the previous seasons. But moving on to the first episode, I will mostly talk about the technical things because, let's be honest, that's what most of you were all hyping for. Having Mappa take the helm from Wit Studio, probably because they're busy with Vinland Season 2, we were all biting our nails to see if Mappa could handle the weight that Wit Studio had built upon. I won't talk about the story because 1, I'm trying to avoid spoilers, and 2, there is no clear plot yet, so I can't really talk about what's happening. And I honestly feel like it's unfair to rate this anime from its first episode because right now it feels like your normal shonen treatment, which is not a bad thing unless if they continue with this type of treatment. But what I'm trying to say here is that I think I get what they're trying to do. Based off of certain vibes I'm getting from this show, what I think they're doing is that they're trying to build up this new story in a more rising tension pace. I don't think it will be a slow burner, but more of escalating the tension every next episode. And when I say a different vibe, I mean it feels slightly different to the previous 3 seasons, and the biggest aspect that really shows its difference is the Titans, because personally the previous seasons to me felt like, and this is a very unpopular opinion, but Attack on Titan Season 1 to 3 had an underlying cosmic horror vibe. Well, less so as each season goes, but the whole mystery surrounding the Titans made the characters fear for the unknown. They don't know what they are and they don't know the reason for their existence, yet they exist. Now looking at the latest season, the Titans here are portrayed in a more war movie style. But that's also because the first episode was trying to show a war, but nonetheless, if they're taking the story in this direction, I'm all for it. Now, animation-wise, I want to be real honest with you guys, and being honest means that I have to state the rather distasteful parts that I found in this episode. Now, this isn't much of a downgrade, but more of a change of style, and that is the Titans, and that they're CGI. Now do keep in mind that Attack on Titan is no virgin in the hands of CGI. In fact, it was used quite a lot, but how Wit Studio handled the CGI in the first 3 seasons is pretty different to how director Hayashi Yuichiro handles it in this episode. And I would say I personally preferred Wit Studio style when using CGI. They didn't use it sparingly, but they also didn't use it a lot. And it was noticeable, but for some reason it still fitted well in the scene. In AOT Season 4's case, at least in the first episode, most of the shots with the Titans were pretty much 3D. And I don't want to disregard the actual CG in the show because it is actually far better than most of the CGI used in most animes. And I know that the director is well versed in the CG aspects of things because Dorohedoro, that exists and it's pretty good. It's really just a stylistic choice that I'm kind of mixed with, but I'm willing to give it a chance. The 2D so far was pretty good, it was nothing out of the ordinary, but I'm just waiting for that high-octane ODM action scenes which will really test the quality of the Sakuga. And if you're coming in here expecting animation like the God of High School, don't. That guy's working on Jujutsu Kaisen. In terms of visual style, it does look very different from Wit's exaggerated strokes and saturated colors. I don't mind it at all. Music is still composed by the amazing Hiroyuki Sawano. His music here is the same as always, very hype. Which, speaking of music, I'm liking the opening. It has a very different tune compared to Log Horizons, yet it still has that patriotic tone to it. And despite all my little nitpicks, I still got goosebumps during the action scenes, and whatever opinions I gave, understand that I've only seen the first episode and I have not read any of the manga, at least after season 3, and I'm absolutely optimistic that this will end up as a masterpiece in the Hall of Anime. And nope, Mal can kiss my ass. Anyway, this was just a short update I wanted to put out. I'm working on a slightly bigger video than my usual upload, so it is taking a bit more time than usual. If you're wondering what it is, remember my Angel Beats video. I'll try my best to write a review on each one, maybe even just cram it into one whole video that also talks about the creator himself. Yeah, I chose the latter, but I hope you guys stay tuned whenever I upload it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video.